concern is not that I'm gonna post something, you know, negative that I wouldn't want a certain group of people to see, but that I'm at a social gathering, my friend takes some pictures and then tags me in them, and I don't want those appearing on everybody else's wall.
For those of you listening at home, the question is, someone else posts something of me and tags me, and that was the next thing I wanted to get to actually was tagging. Another thing you don't have control of is when someone places pictures here of you, and they tag pictures of you, you don't necessarily have control. If you notice, sometimes you may notice pictures up here in your feed that is, you're like, I didn't even take that picture. Anyone can tag anything, and in fact, it's almost a joke sometimes among kids. They'll take a picture of, like, you know, my trip to the zoo, and then they'll tag their little brother as the hippo, you know, and then it shows up in the little brother's news feed and all his friends' news feeds that he was tagged in a photo. So your privacy settings on your photos are also important, but you can't do anything about that photo other than remove the tag. And that's what I was going to mention next. Like this one is, this is actually one of those group things that went around the internet where I was tagged because they wanted me to participate in this little art project. It was one of these Facebook things. So anyway, I'm tagged in this, but I'm not in this picture. Yeah. So the only way is to remove the tag is what I recommend you do. So if you don't want people to search you, wherever you're tagged, if you remove the tag, you've essentially broken the link for people to easily find you in the news feed. You can't take that picture down though. So, but you can remove your connection to that picture. So if I remove the tag, no one's going to see that in my news feed anymore, and it's not going to be up at the top anymore.
Right. So if I'm your friend and you remove the tag, that picture will no longer be on my news feed as like Anna Anderson was tagged.
Exactly.
Okay.
And for those that are new to Facebook in general, I'll just show them here real quick. If you have pictures on here, and tagging is used to draw people's attention to your photos. If they don't just show up in the news feed, someone may want to say, "Oh, Aunt, you know, Jane, here's this daughter. I mean, a picture of my daughter," and it'll show up in their news feed more readily if you tag people, and it'll often email them if their settings are set. That I don't know if you guys get automatic emails for that. So it's useful for those that may not know. You can tag this photo over here. There's a tag button. For those that are unfamiliar of tagging photos, and then if you are tagged, like say I tag myself in this picture, then you always have the option, if you have done the tagging or you are tagged, you may always remove the tag. So it shows up below a photo. So that's what tagging photos is all about and why people do it. But great question. So let me go back to the privacy settings one more time to show you two about photos. If you go to custom and then custom settings, and I can do too. I can go with you individually too later to actually walk you through it because I am going kind of fast here. Once you get to the privacy settings, I do recommend everyone, you know, take the time to look through what everything is set on in general. That means like check-in is a new feature of Facebook where if you're near a location, you can, it's a list of, especially on iPhones, it's like you go to a check-in and it'll say, actually see if I don't do it very.
Is that like the Foursquare thing?
No, it's like I'm at, Chandler School. I don't know if that's a place you can check into. I'm at the coffee shop, and you like, it shows up on places nearby, especially on mobile phones. It'll determine what you're close to. And it's just like a way, it's sort of a competition with Twitter, I think, which is much more of a where I am location, like in the moment kind of posting. So it's just telling you that you are going to be included in that place. If someone clicks on Chandler School and you're checked in, whoever clicks on that is going to see your name. So it's another way. It's less privacy if you have this checked. So I mean, you could unenable this and you know you're a little more, if anonymity is important, maybe you check into place you don't want people to know you're checked into, but again, don't check in there in the first place if you didn't mean to. So that's what that is. That is a newish feature that I haven't experimented with, but this check-in at places.
But it's like a Twitter kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like, let me go back to my profile and see if anyone, my news feed, see if anyone's checked in anywhere to show that off. Don't think so. Probably everyone's at work right now. On the weekends, you'll see, or I'll see more of the check-in. Oh yeah. Now that said too, if you are, I'm sure you are familiar because it's right here on the news feed. If you're tired of someone's postings too, and you click on this X, you can hide all posts by a certain person just within your news feed rather than having to set up these groups. If there's one particular person that's annoying you, you can hide their posts.
Them.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to defriend them, but you're just tired of seeing their, or they play games a lot.
Yes,
let's see if my.
Who does this weird like, you've been sent a heart, and she does it like 18 times a day, and I'm like, get away.
Yeah, here's my niece does like those games all the time. Yeah, like this stuff. Like, how cute are you today?
Yes.
So I'll block these, and I'll exactly. That's what 10-year-olds do. So I blocked that app too. I just keep clicking in my news feed.
Does she have a Facebook? Could she be 13?
Maybe she's 12, but Facebook's not actively also checking that these people are the age they say they are. So you can put in a fake birthday, and if her mom's cool with it.
1973.
How old is she?
That would make she's my brother's age.
Oh, okay. That's not right. Yeah, exactly. So her mom let her, I guess, is allowing her to do that. But exactly. All right, where was I? Oh yeah, so you can block people in your newsfeed individually, block apps in your newsfeed. But back to the privacy settings. I'm on customize settings. If you want to, posts in general, you probably just want to leave on friends only, but you can customize too. If you never want people from work or never want a certain group to see your posts ever, you can customize that. And again, you hide, whatever you typed in your group. My work friends never see my posts. So they can go see your pictures, but they can't see your words. Or they can't see, or they can see, your bio and info. You can be found on Facebook and messaged, but you don't want them to see any of your personal postings.
I see. So I could do that. I see down there the photos and videos you're tagged in. I could customize that to block, because that's my only concern.
That too.
Like,
That's yep. Yeah, I think photos is the other big one I wanted to do. Photos and videos you're tagged in. That's a big one. And if you go down to customize. So again, they won't ever see any photo that you're tagged in. So it's the trick of the good ones you want them to see and the bad ones you don't. You kind of have to go all or nothing is the only trick. But yeah, or untag yourself, yeah. So we're saying if any picture you're tagged in, but if you untagged yourself, yeah, and all your personal photos, and then people who would not see it. So I've also seen people who actually don't like people posting on their wall. They just prefer to only post themselves. And you may have a friend or someone who just posts things that you find embarrassing.
Like what you were saying, your daughter, right? She blocked you.
Yeah, she said that she didn't. So she blocked me, so I can't see her wall. I can see like her religious view. No, I can't see her status updates. I can just see. Like,
so she blocked you here at the top, probably. So she went in posts by me, most likely. Yeah. She went in here and they're customized in posts by, and she probably put you in.
All her family adults, but her thing is, she said that she doesn't want me to be offended by things that her friends might post on her wall. So she doesn't want me to see her wall.
Oh look, there's a special one. Can see wall posts by friends. See, she could just block.
Oh yeah, you could go there.
Yeah. And then you back her into a corner.
Yeah. Post by me. So is that where?
No. Here, scroll down.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what she has it set at, but look.
Can see wall posts.
Can see wall posts by
They're
friends.
right here.
So what she could do is block you off of it.
So that I can see her.
So you can see everything. Yeah.
And then you can, so you can unenable this, so friends cannot post on your wall too. If you have one friend which just doesn't let people post, it's more of a, this is my page and you may not touch it. You can message me, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, but for those at home listening that may not know, you can also message people individually on Facebook. It's more private. Again, anything you post on the web is not private by any means. Do not expect it to not show up at some point. But if you want to only send a message to someone privately, you can send it directly and it is not on their wall, it's not on a photo, it's not on a comment, it's only between the two of you. So as far as Facebook is concerned,
it's like an email
exactly.
Just between you and another person.
Exactly, it's basically like an email.
Instead of like making all these comments.
Exactly. And that's sort of a joke here. There's a page actually called "Oh Crap, My Parents Joined Facebook" here, and there's like jokes about here about how those that are not familiar with Facebook tend to post like as a message like up there, and it kind of is funny. Like it's not really the appropriate use of the medium. They'll do this big you know, paragraph email type thing as a comment, or this one was hilarious. Don't tell anyone, but this site is glitching and sending out free iPhones to anyone that posts up. So he put this as a comment on Facebook. You know, it was pretty funny. So, but anyway, back to the privacy guide. I think we've gotten through everything I wanted to hit, actually. Let's see. Was there anything that I didn't? Privacy messaging. Let me go down to the generally in privacy settings.
What is this on the
Newsfeed.
privacy settings customize?
Mm-hmm.
It says edit privacy settings for existing photo albums and videos. So that's things that you have?
Yes.
So like
Oh,
you
yeah.
could, so people can't like tag a picture or
Click on it and see what option it is. Oh, you go through picture by picture by picture.
So you can. Yeah, that's the one thing that I think sometimes Facebook gets a knock on, that they actually do give you the controls, but most people don't want to bother to use them because it's not necessarily a medium that is designed to be private, but it's there. So as a tool, I think it's important that kids know about privacy settings, adults know about privacy settings, and that they know how to use Facebook responsibly. So,
and
yeah.
how do some of these things get changed when I didn't change them?
The privacy settings, they recently revamped the website. You guys know it changed like a couple months ago, where you have the pictures at the top. They first gave you the choice to upgrade, and then they said you're getting upgraded. So when they did that, they reset all your privacy settings to their recommended, and then you had to go in privately and rechange it. And so that is another thing they get docked on, is they do that every once in a while. You got to stay up on Facebook, or they're going to share more than you want to be shared often.
Usually there's like, if you've made any changes, it has save changes, but on this one there's no save changes.
I think then it's just
So I put them all
because they're
different
drop
only.
down. It's like it's not.
It's
It doesn't have to be saved. It's just like pushing a button. Okay, I'm gonna.
All right, so I'm going to stop this recording, and anyone listening, if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. All right, stop.